Every year, Australians throw out millions of tonnes of plastic. But the local recycling industry can only deal with about a tenth of it. The rest is either burned, buried or shipped overseas.
In the front yards of homes, on almost every spare piece of land, piles and piles of garbage, sent here from all over the world, including Australia.
We are all by now aware of the plastic crisis, but a new study has predicted just how much worse it's going to get.
During the average lifetime of an Australian, they will create over 45,000 kilos of plastic waste. And with 8 million tonnes of this waste dumped into our oceans each year, there doesn't seem to be many solutions to it. Plenty of companies and governments are trying, but ultimately it boils down to three main approaches.
We can either reduce the amount of waste produced, but this doesn't solve problems relating to the plastic already produced. We can recycle the plastic and turn it into new products, but ultimately these will end up back in the system. Or we can find new ways to reuse the plastic, like continuing to use takeaway containers. None of these solutions really solve the problem of plastic. In fact, in my opinion, the only way to stop the problem is to stop producing plastic altogether. However, this is really not feasible. Plastic is everywhere and is a really incredible material as it is cheap to produce and turn into items. It's lightweight and very durable. As such, I believe we need to change the global mindset towards plastic waste, making it known as valuable rather than something to be discarded or left behind. Through my project, I wish to bring awareness to the beauty of plastic and in fact the beauty that can be created from plastic waste. In a way, encouraging people to no longer look at their trash as something to be thrown out, but something that holds value and a new functional material for them to use. By changing global perceptions on plastic waste, I feel that the amount of plastic sent to landfill and the amount of litter and plastic found on beaches or oceans will be reduced. As such, let's look at my concepts. All three of my concepts will use the same or very similar techniques to create them. I will be using PLA plastic for this. This type of plastic is very commonly used for 3D printing. I have a personal connection to this plastic as I run a 3D printing company. I intend to use the PLA waste from this company to create my concepts. Although I try to do everything in my power to reduce the amount of waste I produce, the nature of 3D printing means there are occasional fails and products that cannot be sold. Right now, all I can do with this is put them in a recycling bin. But as we learnt in the video at the start of this presentation, only 10% of plastic waste is actually recycled. Concept 1 is a reed cloth lampshade. This name plays on the idea of recycling and transforming waste into treasure. This lamp's shape is based on the form of crumpled paper, but during my experimentation, I found it also reminded me of coral and lettuce, both very organic things that are affected by plastic pollution. The lamp's organic shape was designed to look like a moving piece of cloth, and as such, it will be made from a single plane of plastic melted over a spherical shape. The use of PLA waste in this project helps to reduce plastic waste in the environment, whilst also creating an eye-catching piece of art for one's home. The work speaks about the transformation of trash into treasure, and it is a great example of how we can repurpose waste material into something beautiful and functional.
Concept 2 is the light flow panels. A light panel made up of recycled PLA. The panel is made by creating one long bench-like piece of plastic. Then it is cut into different interlocking shapes. These pieces are sanded down to different thicknesses and are made of different colors of recycled PLA that allow more light to pass through. The interlocking shapes create an interesting organic pattern that adds a 70s lava lamp-like feel to any room. This concept again highlights how recycled plastic is a treasure and can be repurposed to create functional objects that are incredibly beautiful and unique. Lastly, concept 3 is the Decompo shroom lampshade, based on the organic shape of a mushroom. The stem or base is created from recycled wood and or melted down PLA plastic which has been shaped with a mold. The shade's shape is that of a mushroom and will be made from a single plane of plastic melted over a cone. Mushrooms are known for their ability to break down organic matter, whilst plastic is known for taking a very long time to decompose. Thus, through the connection of these two ideas, fungi and plastic, we create a sense of irony, creating a mushroom that will likely not decompose in our lifetime, but will be recycled again and again. This concept is a great example of how nature can inspire design and how it is imperative to look towards it for inspiration when designing. If we had done this in the beginning, perhaps there would be no plastic problem. In conclusion, these three concepts showcase how plastic waste has the ability to be transformed into treasure, thus making waste a valuable resource that should be collected and treated as such. Each concept is inherently unique in both idea and form, as due to the nature of this process, the folding of the plastic and the pattern created will always be different. They serve as a reminder that sustainability and beauty can go hand in hand, and I look forward to pursuing and creating a better relationship between the world and plastic within Studio 6.